was off limits in your childhood home for reasons that made no sense then, or now. My parents had this absolutely bizarre rule in our house growing up that no one was allowed to touch the living room ceiling. And I don't mean like jumping up to touch it or anything. I mean there was literally a rule that if anything ever needed to be done to the ceiling, changing light bulbs, cleaning whatever, my dad would call my Uncle Jerry to come over and do it. We had this perfectly normal suburban home with standard 8-foot ceilings, nothing special about them at all. But my parents acted like our living room ceiling was made of some kind of cursed material that would bring doom upon our family if anyone in our household touched it. When I was little, I just accepted it as one of those weird parent rules. Like some families don't wear shoes inside, some families don't say certain words, and my family doesn't touch the living room ceiling. Whatever. But as I got older, I started to realize how genuinely bizarre it was. When I was around 7, I had my friend Amy over, and we were playing with one of those sticky hand toys you get from quarter machines. You know those gel hand things on a stretchy string that you can fling at stuff? Well, Amy flung it, and it stuck to the living room ceiling. My mom freaked out. She made us go to my room immediately while calling my Uncle Jerry to come over. When he arrived, my mom made us stay in my room until he had removed the toy and fixed whatever was wrong. After Amy left, my parents sat me down for a very serious talk about how the ceiling was absolutely off limits, and I needed to make sure none of my friends ever touched it. When I asked why, they just said, because that's the rule in this house. As I got older, I started testing boundaries as kids do. Once when I was 12, I took a broom and poked the ceiling when my parents weren't looking. Nothing happened. The ceiling didn't crack, no demons appeared, nothing. But when my mom walked in and saw me, she literally screamed and grabbed the broom from me. My dad came running in from the garage, and they both acted like I had done something horrifically dangerous. I got grounded for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. For touching the ceiling with a broom. The real breaking point came when I was 16. We were having a party for my mom's birthday, and my cousin Tracy, Uncle Jerry's daughter, was there. She didn't know about the ceiling rule because she rarely visited. At some point, a balloon floated up and got stuck on the ceiling. Without thinking, Tracy grabbed a chair, stood on it, and reached for the balloon. Before Tracy could touch the ceiling, Uncle Jerry lunged across the room, practically tackled her off the chair, and said something like, "We don't touch that ceiling in this house." The whole party got super awkward after that. Later that night, I overheard my parents arguing with Uncle Jerry. He was saying things like, "You need to tell them eventually," and "It's been too many years," while my mom was crying and my dad kept saying, "Not yet, not until we're sure." This only made me more curious, obviously. What could possibly be so terrible about our completely normal-looking ceiling? I went through a phase where I became obsessed with figuring it out. I examined the ceiling from every angle I could without touching it. I researched house construction. I even tried asking my grandparents if they knew anything. They didn't. There was nothing visibly wrong with it. After college, I moved back home temporarily while looking for a job. The rule was still in effect. One day, when both my parents were out, I decided I was going to solve this mystery once and for all. I dragged a chair into the living room, stood on it, and carefully examined the ceiling up close. At first, I didn't see anything unusual.